It's decision day on Great British Menu. All week, three of the Northwest's leading chefs, Lisa Allen, Johnny Mountain and Bruno Birkbeck, have been striving for the chance to get their dish served at the ultimate street party. On yesterday's programme, they locked horns over the main course.
You pinched my oven, Bruno.
And new boy Bruno scored even with overall points leader Lisa.
Can't really let my guard down. It is, all to play for, really.
Leaving Bruno in second and Maverick Johnny trailing by 2 points in last place.
Right now, Bruno's in my vision and I'm going to take him down.
Scoring the chefs all week is taskmaster Marcus Waring. Now it's their last chance to impress, as only the top two will face the judges tomorrow.
None of them across the finishing line. Somebody today is going home.
Today it's desserts, and the three dishes in the running for a place at the People's Banquet are a trio of rhubarb and custard puds, a riff on a classic raspberry and chocolate pavlova, and a tiramisu with a retro twist.
I think it's going to be tough in the kitchen. They're going to be chasing me, and also they're going to be chasing each other much more.
This year, each chef has sought inspiration for their dishes in their own community, meeting local heroes who use food to build common ground and bring people together.
So, shall we have a little taste?
Yeah. How's your food?
Yeah, very good.
For us to put one of our dishes in front of them on a banquet is a massive reward for us.
As the chefs embark on their desserts, they know it's crunch time. Can they convince Michelin star holder Marcus Waring that their food is fit for the People's Banquet?
This is the final thing. This is still anyone's race, and it's going to get hot in there.
In first place with a total score of 25, it's former champion Lisa Allen, whose experience and discipline throughout the week has given her a commanding lead. Now she's determined to stay out in front with a show-stopping pudding.
The dessert I've chosen to do is a traditional dessert with a little bit of me revamping it. Familiar, but give it a little bit of fun and excitement as well.
What's the dish?
Right, I'm going to do a take on a pavlova, so I'm doing a raspberry and chocolate pavlova with small pots, little ice cream pots of sheep's milk ice cream with nuts in, and some raspberry jelly, which will be on the side. Now, a little bit of theatre again, because it should bring you back to that old pulling a pot together, getting some ice cream and some pavlova. Done it, I think, quite cleverly, because I'm doing it on a big plate and it's all joined, but you can just put your knife in and pull them away.
So Lisa's staying true to her strategy of reimagining street party favourites, but will her dramatic pavlova secure her top rank in the competition?
Lisa's dessert is about skill. It's making meringue. It's getting the layers right. She can't afford for a disaster. She could lose this as easily as she could win it.
Next up is Bruno Birkbeck, a first-timer with everything to prove. He's had a week of highs and lows, winning 2 impressive 8s from Marcus, but criticism for his fussy fine dining approach. Only 2 points ahead of Johnny, he must deliver a generous dessert today or face going home early.
Hopefully the dessert will have a little bit of a wow factor, you know what I mean? It's more a bit of a gimmicky sort of a dessert, you know.
Rhubarb, what are you doing?
So we're doing a rhubarb and custard today, so...
Okay, and it's local rhubarb, I take it.
Basically that's Yorkshire, so it's just across the way, you know what I mean? Ooh. A little rhubarb and custard tart, and then a rhubarb cheesecake with a Grasmere gingerbread base, my mother's recipe, and then that's going to go into a cake box. I remember when I was a young child, I just, you go into the cake shop, you get a box, so I'm just going to put that in a box, and then the box is just going to be sort of passed around the table.
So will Bruno's nostalgic selection of rhubarb and custard treats be the stellar dish he needs to get him in front of the judges?
No plates, you know. He's really got a grip of the brief now. It sounds like a simple dish, but sometimes the simple things are very, very hard to get right. Who knows what can happen?
Finally, at the bottom of the leaderboard with 19 points is last year's early loser, Johnny Mountain. Desperate to do better, he's pushed his limits all week with an unpredictable global menu, and there's no playing it safe for the final course, as Johnny needs to earn at least 3 points more than Bruno to stay in the race.
Going into the dessert course in third place is usually a problem for any chef, but this time I've got something really magical in my bag.
What are you doing, Johnny?
This year, I'm cooking a Vienna Missou.
Sorry? A what?
It's a classic version of a tiramisu, slightly changed. It's Italian, so I've gone to Italy now.
Tell me about these. What this is for?
These are the colourants for the pulled sugar that I'm attempting. It's not going to be one. It's going to be 3 pulled sugars. It's Italian, so I want to make an Italian ribbon.
Why have you stretched yourself so much here?
Because if we just copied everybody else, then it'll all be a very boring place. If I can pull this off, it's, oh my God.
You're actually sitting in third place at the moment. You're not out of this.
Yeah.
It can be one.
Yeah.
There's 2 people going through and 1 going home. Who's it going to be?
Italy, the final destination for Johnny's jet-setting feast, and he's again gambling on a risky strategy to save him.
Johnny's got 3 different sugars, got to then bring them together as one. It's a skill, it is an art, it is a craftsman that does things like that. And Johnny doesn't quite strike me as the master craftsman.
With all 3 chefs vying for the top spot and everything riding on their dessert, a simple error could mean leaving the competition for good.
What are you doing?
Raspberry and the chocolate pavlova with raspberry jellies, old-fashioned style.
Wobbly jellies.
Wobbly.
Marcus will be scoring each dessert on taste, execution and whether it's good to share. And he expects nothing less than the best, having served his own custard tart at the Queen's 80th birthday banquet.
This is a skillful exercise, desserts. It is the Achilles heel of most chefs. They have to have proper accuracy, just needs to be brilliant.
Most under the cosh is Johnny, who despite working on his menu for months, is still on the verge of repeating last year's early exit.
Down to 84, come on.
Feeling the pressure now?
Well, I'm rubbish at pastry, you know.
You're rubbish at pastry, so you pick a
ever do.
dessert like climbing Mount Everest.
With so many points to gain, Johnny's putting it all on the line. He's making the crisp tempered chocolate layer of his Vienna Missou, just one of 5 tricky elements he'll have to pull off.
112, down to 84.
It's a task in itself.
It is one of the tasks.
He's hoping his daring dessert will keep him in the competition.
Which elements aren't risky in my dessert? They're all risky. I'm trying to step my game up, and I'm really stepping out of my comfort zone.
Newcomer Bruno has relied on chefy tricks and fancy presentation to carry him through so far. But with a place in Friday's judging on the line, he's taking a more homespun approach.
That's my mum's gingerbread recipe, so it's quite hard. Hopefully the ginger comes through and goes with the rhubarb.
It's Bruno's first time in the Great British Menu, so it means a lot to him, and I hope the pressure doesn't trip him over.
And close rival Johnny's looking for any slip-up from Bruno to knock him off his game.
Hey, yo! Bruno's under pressure. I'm only 2 points behind. If it all works for me and he may have 1 or 2 little things go wrong, then 2 points might be coming back my way.
In the pavlova corner, seemingly unflappable Lisa's racing through her prep, boiling raspberries in lemon juice and sugar for a puree. While Johnny is attempting a tricky pata bomb filling for his Vienna Missou. To make this light and airy mousse, he must first boil sugar syrup at exactly the right temperature.
Oh, what's this for?
This is just to start my pata bomb, just to put myself under pressure. I need to get this damn thing made first.
But eagle-eyed Marcus has noticed an error.
That's what it is. It's a pan, isn't it?
In his rush, Johnny's carelessly used a dirty pan.
Start again with the sugar, please. It's in the base of the pan, that.
The pan wasn't quite clean enough, so he just started again. That's a good sign. That's a good sign, actually. Normally Johnny just carries on.
That knocks me back.
Wow.
400 grams, 400 mil, as soon as possible.
Eager to pack a visual punch, all 3 chefs are decorating their desserts with pulled sugar.
Your sugar pays it.
Yeah. What do you use in your recipe?
Mine's just to add a little bit of crunch. It's a bit darker than that. I love them knots in it, yeah.
Across the kitchen, Johnny has just started on his 3 coloured sugars, which he hopes to fashion into an Italian ribbon. It's a technique so precise, he's brought in his own heat lamp to work under.
What's happening, Johnny?
Pressure, Marcus. You know, it's quite complicated. I'm up against it. I knew I was putting myself up against it anyway. I can't walk away from this, Marcus. You know what it's like with pulled sugar. Doing one pulled sugar is difficult.
So why are you doing 3?
Why do we swim the channel?
We don't swim the channel if we can't swim, Johnny. Why he's doing something so complicated, so technically skillful, is absolutely crazy.
Despite earning praise for the rest of her menu last year, Lisa's dessert was panned by the judges, and she doesn't want to make the same mistake twice.
Makes me really nervous today, you know, cooking the dessert, because last year the judges didn't give me a high score at all. In fact, they didn't like it.
This time she's pinning her hopes on dainty individual pavlovas, stuffed with chocolate and raspberries.
The idea behind it is I can get more garnishing and put some chocolate sauce and a bit of chocolate puree. When they cut away, you'll cut down the back of it. It's joined together and it'll be garnished as a big one, which just makes it a little bit easier to cut away.
Lisa's just made their meringues, and in my mind a pavlova is a big, round dessert. Just doesn't seem big and bold enough. Don't know. Doesn't seem right.
The chef's brief this year has been to cook up spectacular sharing platters for the People's Banquet, a magnificent street party celebrating food's power to bring people together. Lisa travelled to Eccles to attend a Lancashire Day party to get inspiration for her dessert.
I'm a born Lancashire lass, so for me to be able to come here and actually get some feedback from fellow Lancastrians is fantastic. I love the idea of Lancashire Day. I remember when I was younger, cakes local to the region, hot pots, and different things, you know, that really brought your community alive.
Lisa's meeting Anne, the driving force behind the event, and she's come armed with her own pudding to contribute.
Hello, Lisa.
Hello, how are you?
Welcome.
Anne and her friends have been busy cooking up local specialities for the traditional heritage luncheon, open to the whole community.
This is where it all happens. I've just taken this out of the oven.
What's on the menu today?
Well, we start off with either black pudding or black peas and the hot pot with the cow heel. And we have 2 choices of pudding. Rice pudding that's done in the oven with the skim on the top.
Oh, it's the best way, isn't it? When you eat the skin off?
Manchester tart that I've already started here. And we'll see what you're going to make us. Brian! Careful now, don't drop it, please.
With Anne's husband's help, they take the food to the church hall, where the locals have gathered for a slap-up feast and a chinwag.
Looks fantastic. Proper tradition.
Good, nobody will complain.
Beef and lamb, that's everybody's now.
Before she tests out her dessert, Lisa's keen to find out how these luncheons help bring people closer.
So what do you think about the theme and how people get together about such a, you know, an important day?
It's a good social event. Communities these days are getting split asunder with one thing and another. And to do something like this and get it all together, I think it's important.
It's a good way of socialising, isn't it, and getting to meet people.
How's your food?
Yeah, very good.
I'll have a taste in a minute when I finish.
It looks like it's time for desserts.
I know, and I'm dying to see yours. Right. This is Lisa's contribution to our Lancashire lunch. It's her version of pavlova. Please don't eat it all because I'm dying to have some myself. Come on, you're having a mouthful.
Will her meringues bring smiles and cheers or collapse under the expectations?
This is a big difference from your hotel to our little church hall, isn't it?
Just a bit.
That looks like a real royal feast, that, doesn't it?
I'm not a sweet man myself, but I could demolish that.
That is gorgeous.
To the Queen, Duke of Lancaster.
Before she goes, Lisa's got a surprise for Anne and the rest of the Lancashire lunchgoers.
I just want to say a big thank you to Anne and all of you today. And it would be an absolute honour if I was to get one of my dishes through to the banquet, which is a street party of the Great British Menu. If Anne and all of you be my guests at the party.
I'd love to be one of your guests. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah.
And I think, you know, she's a